I don't want to hold everyone up for too long. Stelmo, please tell me about Project 06. I'm so excited to see this.
Hey, thank you, Limy. So I have with me the experts in each of the stories, as well as Rev on commentary here.
Dude!
If you've never seen Sonic Project 06 before, it's a fan-made remake of Sonic 06 by lead developer ChaosX. Whole bunch of other awesome people in the Sonic fan community. Basically seeks to transform the original game into the Sonic Adventure 3 it was always trying to be. And for you guys, we have a treat tonight. We're going to be playing through the entire Silver release, which is the most current release of the game right now. And yeah, it looks like you guys picked Silver. They're going to be starting with him. I'll go ahead and let SevenChaos pick our spin effect for this run.
All right. So, for your orbs out there, I will deny your right and say going default.
Yo, let's go. The default works the best anyway. So we're going to get started here with Silver in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Well, I kind of already did an intro. So each of these stories have all been showcased across many different hotfixes at least twice. So tonight we're just going to kind of be hanging out. If you guys have questions in chat, feel free to ask us what's going on. We'll try to explain things as they come up. And one of the most important things we can talk about starting in Silver's story is actually his S-rank reward. So each of the 3 main hedgehogs, those being Sonic, Shadow, and Silver, all have a hidden reward you can find once you S-rank every stage in their story. And Silver here gets access to ESP mode. ESP mode is essentially his kind of pseudo super form, where when you activate it, it does a whole bunch of different things we're going to be seeing throughout Silver's run. But the main thing right now that I just need you to know is that it lets you have a reduced action gauge. The action gauge is that glowy bar in the bottom right. It kind of serves as our magic system for Project 06. Most of the characters utilize it, but none more than Silver. Literally all of his psychokinesis abilities are baked in the use of the action gauge. So we're going to have to be very careful with our resource management throughout the run, but I'll throw it over to one of my lovely commentators to explain what's going on with Blaze.
All right, so about Blaze, so when we go into Blaze from retail and compare to Project 06, not much has changed, but a little bit of remodeling to make it a little bit more refined. For now, she has the claw attack, that would be the B button on the Xbox controller. Then we have the normal homing attack that you would see on the X button. And it actually can shoot a little spiral downwards, and then it can be used for momentum when you actually hit towards the platform. And then something that we don't really use often, which is a tornado spin whenever you press the Y button.
Moving on to section... Oh, someone speaks. Who is it?
Yes. Hello, it is me, FilipIsCold. So, for Silver, he has a couple upgrades in his story. As you can see here, he can spin in the air. Usually in retail, he can't do that. That is from the Lotus of Resilience, I believe. And another thing is that his teleport dash, when he's like flying through the air, usually it stops short, but for after he gets the upgrade, it allows you to go for the entire duration for the action gauge, which is pretty cool.
Lotus of Resilience, I believe. Has this guy even played the game before?
Yeah, my bad.
He doesn't even know.
I don't even play this game, honestly.
What you're seeing right now is a exclusive cutscene to Project 06. This was animated by 3D animator SonicPox, and then ChaosX, lead developer of the project, went ahead and put in all the effects and made it all nice looking and such. But all the model rigging was done by SonicPox, so huge shoutouts to him for that.
Are you telling me this isn't developed by one man? Only one man?
No, in fact, it's not developed by one man. It's developed mostly by one man.
It's been holy crap. Not many games have that.
Rev, do you have any color commentary?
Not for this stage. There's nothing happening.
Are you kidding me? It's 35 seconds of pure bliss.
It's 35 seconds of double tapping the A button.
Not Sonic
Well,
Fox.
let's go.
Sonic
That's pure
Fox
bliss.
with the
I don't
P.
know what you guys are on about.
Nothing I love more than double tapping the A button. If that's you, play Silver.
I do.
I might be tempted to download this. Where can I find this?
So if you go to
I got this one.
twitch.tv/Stelmo98, there's a download link.
There's a donate link, and that's
You
how you
guys
get
were
to the
supposed
download.
to laugh. Well, whatever.
Twitch.tv/Stelmo98/subscribe.
/subscribe, yeah.
/subscribe.
/subscribe/follow.
No, actually, I have the answer for this. It is actually on the Chaos X YouTube channel. He has one of those, so on his silver release video, you can find the game.
Look at this master detective here.
And you
Yeah.
can download the game for absolutely free.
Yeah.
You need like a
Contrary to
$2,000
Reverie.
computer in order to run the game, but you can download it for free. It can be on your
Yeah.
computer free of charge.
That's huge, man. I get to play a free Sonic game.
Or you at least get to own one.
You may not get to play it.
You can play it just like the best way to play Fortnite, never opening it.
The tree is crazy. There was no.
What would Fortnite do?
That is karma. That is karma.
It is karma. Fortnite's a great
Fortnite
game that I
all
don't play.
night. That's all I'm saying.
So this is Amy.
Yeah.
This is the one time you're gonna see her, and she's
In-
pretty cool.
Go for it.
If you hold the X button, you get to go forward really fast, and then if you press the A button, you get to jump again, and that's literally all she does. But it feels good to do.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah, you
X
weren't
button
really
and lots of
singing her
A
praises.
button.
Depending on how many enemies are nearby Amy, you just also press the B button, and then boom, she swings her hammer a lot.
No, you never do that.
You do it
He
once.
did it
You do it once.
One time, you press the B button.
And that was
Goodbye, Amy.
That's it. You're never seeing her again.
Goodbye, Amy. She learned how to go invisible, and she's gone for the rest of the story.
True.
Yeah.
What about right there? And also right there.
What?
Who?
What?
Who?
Okay.
I think you're hallucinating.
Yeah.
One thing that is pretty neat about Silver's story compared to the other two hedgehogs is Silver's movement is very precise. So while Sonic and Shadow, as you guys are going to see, or if you haven't seen before, is that there's a little bit of guesswork to the movement. It's like, am I going to get the right angle on the slope jump? Is the spin dash going to give me enough speed? For Silver, his teleport dash always goes the same speed every single time and uses the same amount of meter every single time. So if you know how much meter you need to have, you can always make every single jump or every single trick.
Yeah, surprisingly, like, you'd think that Silver with, like, object manipulation and having to deal with the physics engine would not be a consistent category, but he is actually very consistent.
The most
So
consistent, even.
Yeah, so consistent that, like, I kind of would argue that Silver's a little bit more beginner-friendly going into speedrunning Project 06. Going in, especially when he kind of comes into slowly with Sonic and Shadow. Sonic leaning more towards one of the hardest strats in the game, Castle Skip, and Shadow kind of leaning more towards how to use his kicks and properly using combat.
Yeah.
No, you mean
and,
Shadow leaning more towards sleeping.
Yeah, true.
Especially because you don't have to obtain arthritis by constantly mashing the X button in order to play Silver.
That's true.
True.
You do when
That
you play
is
as Blaze,
true.
though.
Yeah. If you couldn't tell, doing the Fire Claw is the fastest way to move as Blaze.
Yeah.
It's also just fun to hop around.
Especially when, if I recall the B button, literally, when you hit a dash panel, you can keep the momentum as long as you keep spamming it. So the more dash panels you hit that keep increasing your speed, the more you can keep retaining it.
Blaze,
Well, they don't
Sonic, and Shadow retain that property, or all have that property with their B button actions.
Yeah, they don't stack though. Like, it just the strongest dash panel just overrides the weaker one.
Shadow's the
jump.
only exception, though. For
Oh, whoa!
Ooh, slow.
Yeah, we got
He's
a little
getting all
slope jump.
these tricks.
Some of the terrain, Project 06, as the game's still in development and smoothing out the edges of a lot of things, we can get some funny slope jumps sometimes. White Acropolis is probably the chief example because it's like snowy, so snow mounds kind of work as slopes for us, and they're little piles, especially on those edges of the terrain, so we can use that to gain additional height. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
and White Acropolis especially is bound to be a little wonky when it's collision, because the collision for White Acropolis in the original game was actually outsourced to an unknown studio that we don't know who are, but you can kind of see that it's a little more bumpy than all the other stages because of it.
You'll definitely be able to see that more in Shadow's story. It is absolutely
Yeah.
miserable.
Unfortunately,
can-
Sonic's a victim, too.
Cool thing we're gonna do with
less
Radical
so.
Train here. So these gauge up capsules, as I grab everything except for the gauge up capsule, they fully fill our
Good job,
maturity
bro.
meter. The maturity meter for silver, it basically kind of serves as the experience bar, but as silver, it's more of a time gauge.
Oh.
Tried to do a trick there in order to use the ESP mode discount. Oh my goodness, why can't I grab this core?
Yeah,
That
usually
is actually pretty
finicky.
easy if you're not bad
Yeah.
at the game.
Yeah, true. Well, how many of those are gonna be tonight? I have no idea.
I'm gonna count.
If this is gonna come back, bro.
Yeah, but we can just do a slightly slower route instead, but still get the Badnik bounce here to go over and grind on this grind rail.
So some other things ESP mode does, automatically reflects any projectiles that are sent at Silver. It'll automatically stun any enemies near him, so he can instantly just pick them up. And when it's activated, it releases a Chaos Blast-like explosion, which you're going to be seeing a lot in the next stage, which is very combat heavy.
This guy might be overpowered.
What's Project
well.
06
He
do to
feels
improve?
awesome to play.
Oh, we got a question. What does Project 06 do to improve the original game's story? It improves it infinitely, like by an infinite amount, because it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, the story doesn't, it's not implemented, it's just the game stages.
As of right now, I don't think. I think Chaos X himself actually did say on Twitter he has no plans to even really touch story-wise due to the fact that he knows.
Shadow.
change
Oh my god, it's
everything.
Shadow! Oh my god!
Shadow.
Sorry, Silver.
No, you're good. You're good. Shadow
There are,
can't
no
play, so
plans, there are no plans to include a story, but who knows? Someone might be able to pay BeatZ an incredible amount of money to mod it in.
Incredible.
To create custom code, of course, since this is a fan game.
Yeah.
Anyways, goodbye, Shadow. We're not seeing him again.
Not yet. We do get to, he gets his redemption later. We could probably,
boy.
if you want to, we could set up another chat poll for between Sonic and Shadow next. Because in all stories, any percent, it doesn't matter which story we play, because all of the runs are done on New Game Plus, all the any percent runs anyway, so that we can utilize these really cool upgrades for every single stage. Because if we did it on a new file, we wouldn't get to use the Sigil of Awakening, which is what grants ESP mode. We wouldn't be able to use it at all, because the run is over once you collect it.
And we would get like a heavily gimped teleport dash, which sucks so much fun out of the run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get the Psychic Knife, though. Sonic Generation.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah. That's luck with the Flame of Control, I believe. I don't run this category, so I don't know.
You did get him right. You got him right. Flame of Control does
Yeah,
give
I'm
him
smart.
that.
I'm smart.
But this
I played
stage
Silver
is a
once.
perfect example of like ESP being very useful, not only just to clear out enemies as fast as possible, but also just to keep up that duration of the gauge and just abuse the teledash, because it needs to be used at all times to keep moving forward. Especially in this area where you gotta activate ESP and then just try to fly around while drives come at us with these rods that basically just kill any enemies near it. It's kind of like an AoE attack.
You're gonna see the meter get dangerously close, but we just
Oh,
made
yeah.
several of these. Thankfully, there's no guesswork, though. As long as I have full meter there, I know I'm gonna make it, which is nice. Seeing some 3D in our 3D Sonic game. Shoutouts to the Stummo crew for that one. Then we're gonna use the Psychic Knife, and then another property of ESP mode, when you activate it, it emits a giant Psychic Blast that automatically defeats stuff around Silver, kind of like Shadow's Chaos Blast. Yeah,
Imagine how good that must feel.
Just a Chaos
Like
Blast?
for Silver?
the Chaos Blast.
Yeah.
That must be amazing.
Sound
I
effect is
wouldn't know the feeling.
I mean,
Can't
personally,
say
I
I've
wouldn't
ever done
really
it.
know.
Does it mean campaign or the characters? It means the campaign, but obviously we play as the main hedgehog in said campaign, so.
Let's get to Elise right away.
Another cool cutscene here. Both the Crisis
so
City
cool.
and the Kingdom Valley
He's
cutscene
gone.
were both completely done by Chaos. Sonic Pox only had involvement in the Tropical Jungle one.
Can we talk about how fast Sonic is? Like, he literally disappeared instantly.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
So what I tried to do there is shoot out a Psychic Shot. It's the base form of the Psychic Knife that Silver has by default. It can go through objects and destroy towers, but I think I just barely missed the tower here, even though it's a giant target. I'll never beat the Kingdom Valley allegations on marathon streams.
Yeah. Yeah, usually if you're good, you're gonna hit that, but unfortunately, we have Stelmo running here, so...
Crazy trick right here. So the energy core mechanic was something SevenChaos talked about earlier. When you defeat enemies, they drop these blue or yellow energy cores that basically like allow you to, whether in the ground or in the air. Oh, okay, that trick didn't quite work.
How did that guy live?
I have no idea. I think he was guarded by one of the boxes.
Yeah.
Whether you're on the ground or in the air, these energy cores will refill your action gauge just a tiny bit, and we can actually use that to our advantage. Since the action gauge normally only refills naturally on the ground, we can use them just like right here in order to get a little bit of extra distance.
Barely make that.
Yeah, that was a close one.
Basically go around the entire left side of Kingdom Valley, which is pretty scary because there aren't any checkpoints, so if we died, we'd have to start from the beginning. But now we'll ride the Eagle over to Section 2, where we'll get a cameo from our favorite character.
Omega?
Shadow?
Oh.
Watching
Tails.
runners. Oh, tail.
This guy gets
Watching
it.
runners,
right there.
The
watching
legendary
runners who
tail.
are good at silver is really scary because they know the exact amount of meter they need to get through any gap, and it, as a spectator, it's always terrifying because you're like, are they making that? Is that going to work? And it always does.
Thankfully for you guys, this is not one of those runs.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey Rev.
Jokes
I
write
trust you with my
themselves.
life.
Hey Rev, I'm gonna tell you a secret. Throughout the times I've run in silver, I'm scared at all times, bro.
Yeah, it also applies to the runner too.
Yeah, you need a healthy amount of fear to run this game.
Imposter syndrome. You're like, do I remember this?
You haven't
doubt
played a horror
yourself.
game until you've speedran silver in Project 06. Speaking of horror,
Also, this
right
eagle's
here,
gonna
this
give us a
water's
little scare.
insta-kill.
Oh,
The eagle just decides to dip us right into it for no reason.
What a jerk.
Yeah, he's just an asshole. Like
He could have just flown straight, but he decides, you know what? You look a little hot there, Silver. Let's cool you down a bit.
gotta cool down.
Water is
He's just a
incredibly
little
lethal
smelly
in this
for
game.
fun.
The eagle was stunned by the USP, therefore chill.
Into our final full-length stage of Silver's portion of the run here, Flame Core. It's his longest one. The last 3 stages are significantly longer than the first 5. Well, I guess actually, since we have the extra stage, the last 4 stages, it takes about as long to complete Aquatic-based Kingdom Valley Flame Core as it does to complete the first 5 stages in the run. It's pretty crazy.
Which is really cool, I think, because it makes for a hype like gauntlet. You gotta stay locked in, especially for these combat rooms, because like combat in silver is so incredibly varied because you have the psychic knife, you have the psycho shock, which is the ground pound stun move, you have the psychic shot, which stuns a single enemy. Like you just have so many different options that it's a genuine playground every time you come across one of these rooms.
Ooh, Philip, looks like you have a fan in chat right now.
Yeah, I'm super popular.
It's true.
I have a quick question because I find combat with silver like scary. Like, how do you aim everything so fast? Like,
Because I've played this game for
Practice.
thousands of
Yeah,
hours.
lots of practice. It
Okay.
is-
And a little
this
bit
is
of praying.
definitely- I would say this is definitely the hardest stage in the game, like across every single story.
What makes Project 06 so cool for speedrunning and why it's beginner friendly as well is that it's easy to learn and hard to master. There's no tricks. There's no like hidden stuff that you just have to know about the characters in order to go fast in this game. It's just practicing, learning from the top runners by looking at their runs and their input displays, and then just do it yourself or develop your own routes and stuff. It's very neat, very accessible game, especially because
Yeah,
you can
really
run all the
freeform.
levels in a singular chunk if you decide to. You don't have to run the game all at once.
Yeah, ILs in this game are so sick. There are so many cool IL strats that we just can't show off because they're really inconsistent.
Very. And even to go off of that, like, let's just say you are the type of runner that wants to try to learn from ILs into the any percents afterwards. It will not be the same at all. Please reconsider backups because of how it's in dire need. Something like Flame Core, if you like died right here, you would lose all those 30 seconds that you just used right now, and then have to go all the way back. It can get really scary. Confidence is kind of the huge thing, not just for silver, but even for the other 2 hedgehogs that are remaining.
Neat thing too, a lot of my backups personally I developed myself because I'm terrible at this game and I stream it, so.
Yeah, the IL brain rot, like, perfectionism virus into RTA runs into extreme disappointment is a very real pipeline in this game.
That's why you just start with real-time attack, going
It's
against
true.
my
It is
advice. I
I'm
mentioned
happy
earlier.
that the pipeline exists in this game because it also exists with Monkey Ball, and I.
Oh god, yeah, Monkey Ball has to be terrible with
Yeah,
that.
Monkey Ball sounds miserable. In that case.
Damn, nice time.
You don't have to lie.
What do you mean? That's a good time.
I was hoping for sub 3, but it just didn't happen
That's
with
a-
that first combat room.
That's a really, really good time. No, like it wasn't. It wasn't
Anything
slander.
sub 310 is good.
Okay.
You know what? Anything looks good to me because I don't know the times. I'm gonna be.
Since Rev has the gemless record, I'll take their word for it.
Yeah.
This is the category you're playing right now.
Definitely Gemless right now.
Who won the poll?
Shadow.
Shadow did.
Let's
I
go!
was gonna say I saw some PogChamps in the Twitch chat, so it's probably good enough.
It's probably it just
In the
scammed
eyes
everyone
of the
who
average
voted.
GDQ Twitch viewer, it was good enough.
Good enough for me.
Yeah.
Validate my feelings. Oh, so what's going on here is that every story in Project 06 has an extra stage where you go through a smaller section of a stage with a companion character. So each story has 2 companion characters and a cameo or 2 from one of the other main hedgehogs. If you hadn't picked it up by the end of the run, Silver's story has Blaze and Amy as his companions. Wave Ocean with Blaze is one of the coolest stages in the game because Blaze is really fun to play. And the level design at the very end of the stage here was expanded. So normally we would actually be ending the stage right about now. You can see that little hut to my left is where the goal ring usually is. But Chaos decided to extend it a little further just to be able to play as Blaze a little bit more. It's pretty fun.
And it's
Yeah,
really sick because this is definitely the sickest part of the stage.
Yeah,
There's lots
Everything's
of
just so
shortcuts.
smooth. It's so cool.
We're gonna do a cool little
Dolphin
thing here.
diving.
With Project 06, when you go up against slope terrain, you gain increased jump height. So it's kind of like a slope jump, but it doesn't really make sense. But I appreciate that it's there. And keep
It's so
note of
cool.
that, because in Shadow's story, we're gonna use that same exact trick with him to go fast in his Wave Ocean too. Which is really cool, as tricks are shared between stories.
Oh yeah.
The wall.
So Shadow is up next, so Mr. FilipIsCold, if you'd like to pick the spin effect for that.
Orb.
No.
No.
I mean, I like Adventure
Not-
2 as much as the next guy, but oh, that's the wrong character.
Ah, I see.
Let's go ahead and jump in the Shadow story. So Shadow's story is going to feel a lot more familiar. He's the combat-focused character of Project 06, though that doesn't mean much with the character's abilities in this game. But he's got the homing attack, he's got the spin dash, which, funnily enough, he didn't have in the original game. And his homing attack is a little bit more combat-focused. He does this thing called the Chaos attack when he connects with the enemy with more than 1 HP. He's got a spin kick move that is called the Tornado Kick, which is totally busted, that we'll be seeing later. And
now.
overall, he's just kind of fun. But kind of.
Yeah, only kinda. That's yeah.
His companions are going to be Rouge and Omega. We're going to see Rouge a lot in the first half, and then Omega a lot in the second half of Shadow's story here.
Yeah, what you see is what you get with Rouge. A lot of gliding.
Yeah. He's
Unfortunately, Rouge actually does have a really neat moveset, and compared to a lot of the other characters in Project 06, it's actually really simple. She's only got about 4 different techniques, but they work extremely well together, which is really fun when you actually have to use them. But the section she's in Shadow's story don't really call for it at all.
And
Yeah,
the
we'll
fastest
see.
way to move with her is gliding and not even running, so it's
yeah.
pretty unfortunate the way we're forced to play her.
Yeah, we'll see some more of her moveset much later, and I mean much later in the Shadowrun. But in White Acropolis, to like finish the stage instead of going to a goal ring, you need to like destroy these searchlights. And this is what Selmo says is his one contribution to the route, which is finding out what searchlights to hit in what order.
It's true, man. It's my one contribution to the game. Searchlight route's been used since Shadow existed. You know, clipping through walls notwithstanding, but that was a previous release.
Yeah.
It was peak.
And since the buggy is extremely slow and also not very out of the way in this stage, he has different vehicles that we will be seeing shortly. But in this stage, you get the buggy, and it's really slow, so you don't use it.
Project 06, is that the same as just Sonic 06? No. In fact, it is extremely different. The only thing that's really shared between the two games are the character models, the animations, and the stage assets. Everything has been rebuilt from the ground up otherwise, so how the characters move, how they control, how their abilities work, all custom. And you can try it absolutely for free on Chaos X's YouTube channel.
I promise it is Sonic Adventure 3. Like it
genuinely.
It feels
and it's
so
not even done yet.
Firsthand.
Speaking of Sonic Adventure, treasure hunting is here.
Yes.
So yay! So
Shovel
in the
Claws,
original
where you
game, yeah, where you at? Here's your thing. But in the original game, the keys in this section are in set locations, but Chaos X added some extra locations and randomized them, and gave you a little key radar here, similar to the adventure games. And this key set was actually pretty good. No, was
wasn't that
not bad at all.
Fun thing is when you climb with Rouge, the fastest way to climb with Rouge, and you'll see, is Knuckles. Knuckles has a pretty identical, or not an identical moveset, but a pretty similar moveset to Rouge, is that you actually want to, like, jump. So you attach to the wall, jump, and then do that over and over again. It's faster than climbing up. Though here in Shadows Kingdom Valley, we actually have a special visit from the developer of the game.
Yeah.
We go on this waterway, we actually enter Chaos's house. If we look right behind the sewers here, there he is.
There he is.
Guys, what can we ask him? Hey, Chaos, will you put the hub worlds in the game?
Where's your laptop?
No, Chaos? Oh, okay,
Bro,
I
where's
guess he doesn't.
Release, Chaos?
Oh, man, I guess he didn't want it. Oh, well. We'll just continue on anyway. Another gimmick of Shadow's story here is that he has vehicles. You saw the hang glider in section 1. That was the hover car. Goes on water.
And hovers.
And hovers.
Yeah,
and is a car.
And is a car.
Just going down the list. He's got like bullet points.
All right, Philip, and what does the motorcycle do?
Motor?
And cycles.
Wow. In section 3, we get to see some of the raw movement with Shadow here. We got a lot of spin dash and a lot of homing attacking. His Chaos Spear actually also has a lot of utilization in his platforming as well, because you can use up to 3 in the air before you have to homing attack or land on the ground, and it refreshes that set of 3. When Shadow uses a Chaos Spear, he'll recover by doing a small bounce in the air. Call that a spear bounce. It can basically act as a double jump when we use all 3 in succession, but we can also use it to stall his air time, which is really nice as well. Additionally, if you use a Chaos Spear after a jump dash, you actually gain an additional jump dash charge, and you can bypass the Chaos Spear animation by just pressing the A and the X button at the exact same time, which is pretty nice. But I wanted to do a spear right there for this pretty cool skip. In order to cancel out Shadow's air momentum, because we are using a customizable jump dash type called Legacy. Legacy, there are 3 different types. Legacy is the best one overall, but also for speedrunning. It's got the longest duration, it goes the fastest, and it preserves our direction. So we kind of get to make the choice whether we want to preserve Shadow's air direction with the Legacy jump dash, or we can use a Chaos Spear to kind of cancel it out and just go straight forward, which is pretty cool.
Shadow, don't be late.
It's Sonic!
It's the boy.
It's Sonic!
Not supposed to be
We're
here
almost
yet.
there.
Oh, goodbye, Sonic.
In Crisis City, though, we're going to kind of get to see the physics take its course here as we just use the spin dash, go down section 1.
Yep.
Yeah, in the original game, you had to traverse this entire section in a very clunky, very big but fast car.
Yeah.
But thankfully, all of the buggy locations from this stage were removed, so you don't have to deal with that anymore.
Yeah, I was going to mention that as well. The buggy, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you view it, is no longer required for anything.
So I see a comment in here that the environment doesn't reflect in the water, and that's because I have the reflections turned off. It's the biggest slog in terms of performance, and no matter how powerful your PC is, because the game's still in development, there's still a few optimizations that need to be made, and the reflections are the biggest culprit of that. So I have them turned off for frame rate.
Like, you think your PC is good, and then you boot up PO6 at max settings, and it turns into a nuclear bomb. Like, I'm not even...
Yeah, I thought my PC was good enough,
careful.
and then I've never heard it that loud before.
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh
Yeah, it's really bad.
really bad. Kingdom Valley is a huge victim for reflections on. You will literally
And
get
aquatic
to
base, since
Yes.
all of the tiny little balls in aquatic base all have their own reflection maps. It's absolutely miserable.
Yeah.
Just part of
And,
figuring things out as you create a game.
Yeah, and for this section, we're going to be seeing Shadow is red. And if you're wondering why, that's because he's using his Chaos Boost ability. It is what his meter is tied to, because all the hedgehogs use the meter in different ways, and
Wanna try on this.
it allows him to, in his level 1 Chaos Boost state, allows him to do the Chaos Snap, which is a little extension of his homing attack at the end, which, if you were a good player, you'd be able to see it right there.
But they'll get to see it right here on the backswing.
Yeah,
Also,
you'll get-
I'm doing a
you
cool
get-
thing with the cage right there to do a cage dash.
Yeah, the cage actually has a slope, so you can spin dash up it and skip that combat section. Because you are supposed to fight enemies there.
What Philip was talking about is right there. That's the Chaos
Yeah,
Snap.
there you
If
go.
you hold the A button while you're in Chaos Boost level 1, you can do an additional homing attack check, which is pretty cool. Chaos Snap also does additional damage against enemies, which is nice.
Yeah, and just instantly warps you to the different enemies as well, so the combat is also faster.
It was 1 death
The-
in Silver, 1 death so far in Shadow. Who knows where it'll
Yeah.
happen in Sonic.
Gotta keep it consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't have a run that's too good.
Yeah, we can't
Now, where
get, we
would
can't
you
get
buy
record
Sonic?
in a marathon.
I wonder.
Yeah, that would be tragic too, because then we wouldn't be able to verify the IGT unless you had splits open.
Which I don't.
Yeah, instead of we were talking about how the entire run would just be like low blows for an hour and 20, and I didn't think that y'all were serious.
Yes.
But it has just been low blows for an hour and 20, or however long we're
Someone's
got
got to be the punching bag of the community, and unfortunately, my Hawaiian shirt draws a lot of attention. So
Also,
that
here's
section
Angler.
there,
Goodbye, Angler.
we avoided all of the level design because there's a little space we can nestle the hang glider between it and the kill plane. So we didn't really have to play it, which is nice. May or may not be the last time we see the hang glider, though. Depends if I feel like skipping it. But here in Section 4 is a unique section of Crisis City between Sonic and Shadows. We haven't seen Sonic's yet, but it's a pretty cool stage here. We actually did this section with Silver as well in Crisis City, and in Silver's case, it's the only time in the game where you start in a section, go to a different section, and then come back to the same section. Since in the original game, Silver was a lot slower than the other two hedgehogs, they could get a lot more mileage out of the space, because I guess I'm explaining this a little bit backwards, but the stages in Project 06, very similar to Sonic Adventure 1, are divided into, you could call them acts, or we call them sections. They all have a letter associated with them, so this is Crisis City Section F, because D is never used, or is unused, and then Section E is actually Sonic's Mach Speed section. But normally, they're labeled in the order that Sonic goes through them. So in Sonic's Wave Ocean, he goes through Wave Ocean Section A, and then Section B. And
Hell
so
yeah.
on. Except for Kingdom Valley. Kingdom Valley is a little bit weird. Where he goes A, D, B, C. So I don't know what kind of alphabet they were looking at for that one.
Up
Well,
next,
like,
been
who
an
even
ancient
decides that
one.
the alphabet is supposed to be ordered like that? Like,
That's true.
let's be real.
that's true. Up next, we
Someone
have
just kind of
Flame
said
Court.
that, and everyone agreed for a while.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
kind of rhymed a little bit, so they're like, yeah.
Wait, what did I say?
We weren't talking about you, bro.
Oh, okay. Okay. I heard Stelmo, but I think you said someone.
I said
My bad, dog. Everything's not about me. I know. But you know what everything is about right now? Shadow the Hedgehog. So, if Chaos
That's the
Boost has
streamer
multiple
segue
levels
right
to it.
there.
Hey, shut up. I'm talking. Anyway, so... Sorry, that was me.
Yeah, man.
98. Subscribe.
Come to my stream where we have a warm and friendly and welcoming environment.
Alright, to explain Chaos Boost for a second, there are 4 levels. Normally there's 3 like in retail, but in Project 06, there's actually a 4th one that Chaos X put out for the S rank reward. Now, for the first one, you have Chaos Boost to allow you to do Chaos Snap. The second level, you are able to do Chaos Lance, which you charge up your Chaos Spear and turns into a lance that one-shots the enemy. Third one is Chaos Chaos Blast, and the fourth one is literally inhibitor rings, which is the coolest thing ever. So flippin' cool. And the best part of it all is that you're invincible until your duration of the gauge runs out. The moment it runs out, you're stun locked for like I'd say 3 or 4 seconds.
We can
Just wanna
bypass that
restart
by
here.
restarting the section though, which is nice.
Yeah.
A cool thing about
Like, you
all
can-
three.
Go
Sorry, go ahead, Philip.
All right. There's something about uninhibited mode is you can like imagine it as supersonic, but instead of like rings depleting, it's the meter. So you gotta kill enemies to get the meter to stay up. Now you can go ahead.
Got to keep defeating enemies to stay up, of course. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
Ooh. Good wording.
we're gonna see Rouge
Yeah, but-
once again here, where we have to hit 5 orbs in order to continue on.
Can you tell English?
There
Isn't
was a
my
joke
first
there, but I'm not gonna be the one to make it.
Listen,
So
don't
these
believe
orbs
in
are actually on a
non-English
timer. You have 1 minute to hit them all, but we can do it much faster than a minute, so we don't have to worry about it. Switching back to Shadow here. We're gonna see another cage dash coming up, which is pretty cool. Which is right here. Spoke a little too early. We're gonna angle the spin dash just like that, and it's gonna get us to the top, skip some platforming, fall down the stupid fire geysers.
That's
Shadow
good.
screaming his head off, even though the subtitles do not do that line justice.
That scream was personal.
Yeah, I guess Jason was having a particularly rough day in the booth.
I was trying to figure out that that cage jump for so long. Now I know where it is.
You know, it's not placebo. For some reason, that cage dash is more difficult with the adventure spin effect. I don't know why, but Shadow just does not angle upward as consistently with it. I really don't know why, because they're all
Are you
functionally the
serious?
same. Yes, I'm for real.
Bro,
Are you actually?
I have had the worst luck with the adventure ball. I'm not memeing.
The hitbox might actually be slightly different. I'll have to look into that. That sounds really funny. Anyway, for this stage, the entire gimmick is Eggman's trying to get away from us, and to stop him, we have to beat up his train, because that's how locomotives work. We used to be able to skip this, but
It's okay,
fun.
old man's just reminiscing in the good old 4.6
Yeah, it's
days when
true.
it was full of glitches.
Back in my day, bro. Back in my day, the game was good.
2 people in this call have been running the game longer than you.
back in his day, he liked being toxic, having all the leaderboards for him.
Yeah, 7 and I have been running the game longer than you.
Yeah, it's true.
And
Alright,
I'm also here.
And Philip's here to explain this cool reference to Shadow the Hedgehog 2005.
Wow. So in Shadow 5, when your like dark energy meter, I don't know what it's called, is full, and he goes into his like super red state, all the ammo in his weapons and vehicles are he gets infinite ammo, and that is referenced here, where you get infinite ammo
It
if
also
you're in
happens with the
Chaos
blue.
Boost. Yeah, with the blue one as well.
Oh, look at that. We have one of the people on the Project 06 dev team, BeatZ, calling us wafflers. Love the support from
Yes.
the dev team.
Yeah, sorry for
Also,
trying to
they're
Thank you,
also
explain the
nice
Beats.
people.
game.
Don't worry, BeatZ, you'll get the blue waffle and Sonic same core.
It is true. Huge reference. So much like Silver, which actually makes sense because they share this stage. This stage is extremely combat heavy, and we're gonna see uninhibited mode not once but 2 times, if I'm not mistaken. Or you're just gonna press the.
You are mistaken, I believe.
I'm an old man. I haven't played.
What were you saying?
that
I
is that
zoned
old
out.
route.
I've just been watching Shadow breakdance for the last 20 seconds.
Silver.
Hey, it's Silver
Wow.
again. You guys remember him? He's here for a cameo.
No, I don't remember him. I forgot him already.
Something funny about this section that is not showcased anywhere else in his story is that you can, like with certain objects, you don't even have to throw them at enemies. Like those spike balls just have a constant hitbox and they insta-kill everything. It's so funny.
Someone wasn't watching when I did that in Silver Kingdom Valley.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You could never be mistaken.
I could. Nah,
I think
no.
I understand why y'all said top runners and then Reverie.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
I just don't play Shadow.
Yeah.
That was my best for shouting.
It's okay. It
Slander
happens.
is insane. Dude, you don't even do Chaos Blast either? This category's washed.
Yeah, we don't. We
The
don't use it
tornado
anymore,
kick is a little
unfortunately.
good.
You just press
Yeah.
the B button, bro.
During my zoning out, I don't know if anyone explained it, but I'll just abridge it real quick, is the tornado kick does 2 points of damage, and while an enemy's within its hit radius, it constantly damages them about every quarter second. The most amount of health we see in this game is 6 HP, so we can defeat the strongest enemy in Shadow's story with that move in 3/4 of a second. So
It's so
it's pretty ridiculous.
I mean,
We got some
it's-
cool combat coming up here, though, that doesn't use the tornado kick.
Thank God. Thank God this stayed, because this is pretty much always been in the run, and it's so sick every time.
The only
Yeah,
cool
this
part of the
was-
stage. Whoops. God, that guy was still alive.
And then he messed it up. SMH.
Another
This
neat
guy.
thing is
Never
that
mind.
in
Let's go.
4.6, Shadowrunners try to use the kick, and as long as they were just inside an enemy that had a lot of health and just kicked, it was able to delete the enemy, that it was technically a faster method to take them out. But now that Silver release, you can actually move while you spin kick. It's just the new way of combat. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like one
and on
change
top of
just
that-
completely broke the move.
You can keep pressing the B button up to 3 times and it increases the radius, including above and below Shadow. It's the only move in the entire game, I believe, that can actually hit below terrain. It's just so ridiculous. Oh, see you later, Gollum. So what I'm doing here is normally you're supposed to hop on a hang glider and do this section with that, but you can actually complete it without using the hang glider. It's about 30 seconds slower, but it's kind of swag, so it's time neutral.
Yeah, you gotta get swag points.
I've never seen him do that before.
Yeah, sometimes he just kind of walks off. It's pretty funny.
Of course, Reverie wouldn't know about the swag. That's all I'm saying.
It's true. It's true.
Additionally, getting slope jumps off of slope terrain, I just got a slope jump off of the needle sticking out of that umbrella. It's kind of crazy what you can do in Project 06
Really?
with the physics.
Really threading the needle, huh? Laugh, please.
I hate this guy.
Nope.
I'll laugh.
Off the
Twin
stage,
up with this
bro.
guy.
It'd be a shame if I died right now.
Please don't.
You're scaring me. Okay.
Let's go.
I did it.
Nice, so we're good,
Don't die
right?
to the camera
Hands off the
volume.
control stick. Hands off the control stick. All right.
Okay.
Swag achieved.
And now
We need
even
a
more
Omega.
swag because it's Omega time.
Oh my god,
We need a poll for the next door between Sonic and
The last story.
Don't you switch to the original game? We could do it between Sonic and Gemless.
Yes.
There is
no.
enough time.
Yeah.
Is there?
But
What is the
But a
estimate
quick-
for this run? Hour 20, right?
Hour
yeah,
20.
something like that.
Oh yeah,
But
we
a
got
quick
plenty of time then to do
explanation
Gemless
of,
if we want.
Quick explanation of Omega is that he's kind of a combination of his playstyle on Sonic Heroes and the SC2 mechs, I would say, because he has the little pointer that he can point and shoot. But we won't be seeing him for much more of this stage.
Yes, we're single-handedly saving the environment by not using the vehicles. You're correct.
Yes.
Dude, the carbon emissions on those things has to be crazy.
Low
So
carbon
normally
percent.
you're dropped into this wide open section of Wave Ocean. It's pretty fun to explore, but the switch is always in the same spot. So since Philip told me where it was before I started this run, we can just
Yeah, no
spin
problem,
dash
bro.
straight to it. Now, if you remember back in Blaze's Wave Ocean, I said we're going to use the slope of the wall in order to get an extra jump. We just used the exact same part that we used with Blaze right there in order to go into some more expanded level design. A lot of love for Wave Ocean in this project.
Yeah, and you can see the love in also the skybox, because every Hedgehog story, the skybox is like a different time of day in Wave Oceans, which is a really cool detail. Like for Shadow it's sunset, I believe, and then for Blaze it's sunrise,
I
and then
believe
for
you're
Sonic
looking at
it's
it.
day. Yeah. I didn't remember if it was sunrise or sunset. I didn't remember. which one it was. Whoa!
I was like, why is this guy going around that way?
Hover car cameo.
Jump scare.
Only
Yeah.
a B rank.
The graphics of this game look incredible, and the fact that I'm not even on max settings is fantastic.
So if you liked Omega, don't worry. We're gonna see a lot more.
Don't worry.
In Omega's Dusty Desert, this is
So
actually
this is our
Omega's
final
stage.
vehicle section of Shadow's run, and normally we're supposed to snake around the left side of the level design over there and go through a bunch of pillars to open the door, but thankfully the trigger to open the door is just right behind this breakable wall. So we can just hover right to it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
usually it only
Chaos Fix.
activates after you go through the previous set of pillars, but I don't know if he forgot to make it not always active or if he intentionally did that, but either way, we're very grateful because that's actually
Yeah.
Tornado
God
kick
we don't have to
invalidating
do it.
combat once again. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Seven, go ahead.
Love that move.
instantly.
Seven, what were you saying?
Thank God we don't have to deal with RNG and S1 ILs.
Yeah, that's true. The uppercut can be pretty unruly.
Up next, we have Omega once again, and you actually get to see more of his combat actually appear. And a lot of his combat, as well as just movement, is just actually pretty tight. Making sure that you get the lasers right on all the enemies as much as possible. Like in this room, you got to make sure all the enemies are cleared out to open the door. And once you actually get it all out, you have to make sure that you also have your hover gauge to make sure that you're up and able to kill them. If not, then you're kind of have to get all the way back up there just to kill them again with the lasers.
The only drawback with Omega, other than the fact that he can't spin jump, is that his airspeed's pretty bad. However, sorta mitigates that, but it's still not nearly as good as the other characters.
Yeah. And now we get the coolest move in the game. The Gatling gun mode. He can pew all the enemies and they die. It's really cool.
That's a weird way to say supersonic.
True.
Just like Plants vs. Zombies.
Wait, who's arguing with BeatZ? Oh, Rev is arguing with BeatZ.
Me.
In chat.
Just
while
business as usual.
commentating. It's beautiful.
Multitasking.
And of course, Rev would say 4.6 immediately, bro. It cannot leave him.
That's where all my knowledge on chat, bro.
And that's why you're here commentating the most recent release of the game with us.
Yes, I only play Sonic, bro. Don't.
Being
It's
a
okay,
menace
we're
on
getting there,
comms,
we're
being a
getting
menace
there.
in chat.
Did we actually do a poll for any percent versus gemless?
No.
Please no.
Please no.
Please no.
Please,
But
no.
it's what's hot in the community
Old
right
man,
now.
pull out the gems, please.
If you want to join the
I'm
PO6
begging.
speedrunning community, literally any of my YouTube videos have a link to it. Even if you don't watch them, you can access the link whenever. I forgot to give Richard the link, so that's my bad.
Where's the unleash percent, bro?
No.
Well, that's on my second channel, youtube.com/@thestelmo show.
This guy.
Subscribe.
Slash.
I mean, he gave me the layup. I just took it.
That's true.
Our extra stage for Shadow's story is Rouge's Tropical Jungle. It's another key hunt, unlike Kingdom Valley where all three of the keys were randomized. Unlike Kingdom Valley where all
we gonna
three
talk
of the
about that,
keys were
or-
randomized.
We're not going to talk about that. We're going to move on.
Only two of the keys are randomized here. The last key's always in the same spot, which is nice. Have a 1 in 9.
I believe what Stelmo did there was like RNG manipulation to get the good key set.
Yeah.
I fat fingered the X button. Whoops.
Again, RNG manipulation.
Are we gonna talk
Go
about
for the IL set.
or...
Yeah, we get to see where key locations just go.
Yeah, it's intentional.
I'm just trying to get a better key set.
Gotta get the IL.
The sad
I need
part's this
Trouble's
run's
opinion
still
right
gonna be
now.
like 5 minutes underestimate with how bad it is. Just how bad I was at all stories when I submitted this.
Woo for improvement.
Oh, come on.
Yippee.
It was IL.
Oh, it was.
No.
That's not the IL.
That's not
The
the
IL
IL
set
set.
is a different one, which I don't
Yeah, it's a
believe.
different. It's a different.
I'm still in denial that that's actually the fastest key set, but I'll take the people
Prove it.
who are better at the game than me's word for it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Seeing
Yeah,
Rouge's
nobody
bombs
can see
right
it.
here, they kind of look
Yeah.
like Shadow's Chaos Spear, except they're bombs. So they're a little bit cooler. That completes Shadow's story. Hooray!
Hooray.
Goodbye, Omega.
Yay! Goodbye, Omega. Yep, we won't be seeing Omega
Bye,
or
Omega.
Rouge ever again.
No.
They vanished
Thank
from
God.
the story. But it's Sonic time now.
Yes.
Sorry, where can I find your content on YouTube? Oh, well, thank you for asking, random chatter. So
Let's get going.
I stream Monday through Friday in the afternoon, twitch.tv/Stelma98, and then I have 2 YouTube channels. Main YouTube channel is just my name, Stelma98, and then second channel is called The Stelmo Show. if you're interested in Project 06, I played a little bit.
Shield successful.
On to
Anyway.
Sonic. So Sonic works functionally a lot like Shadow, except instead of having the Chaos Spear, he has the bounce attack. He also doesn't have the tornado kick. He just has a standard spin kick. But the main thing that sets him apart are the gems. So the gems are like 8 different hunks of rock that you can equip one at a time on Sonic's shoes, and it gives him a different ability. So I was using the blue gem there. Blue gem grants us a burst of speed, which is a little bit different from the spin dash, but we'll talk about its differences later. And his new game plus, or all S rank item you can find, is the rainbow gem, which allows him to transform into Super Sonic. Cool detail about this is that Silver's ESP mode is governed by the maturity meter. Shadow's uninhibited mode is governed by the action gauge, and Super Sonic is governed by the rings. So all 3 of the resources in Project 06 are kind of spread out in different ways, which is kind of neat. Here's Tails. He can fly.
There go Tails.
And there goes Tails.
And there, goodbye, Tails.
If only he had a longer section of Wave Ocean.
If only.
I would love that.
One of the very neat things about Rainbow Gem as well is when you turn into Super Sonic, right before you go to the Mach Speed section, you actually stay as Super Sonic. But this is only your one-time chance to stay that way. The moment you die or restart, you lose it. You have to restart the stages before you turn Super Sonic again. And the major thing about it is that when you're Super Sonic and Mach Speed, you gain a 10% speed. You go just super duper fast. And it seems, honestly, a little bit of time that helps.
Yeah, or as Reverie would say, 3 times as fast.
That's what it feels like, alright? Don't.
The joke is that Super Sonic's only about 10% faster than regular Mach Speed Sonic. Is this worth it?
It is.
No.
I let go of the jump just a
this
little
way.
bit too soon. But we didn't die, which is the best outcome. So
Yeah, honestly.
You didn't go
I have
backwards.
only died 1 time in every story so far.
That is,
So far.
So,
are we gonna
no, we're not gonna.
okay.
Oh, that was Rouge wanted to take a swim.
Drake Liliani.
And
gift.
to be fair, I've only died once in every story as the main hedgehog, which is the important truth.
Drake Liliani gift. But now, we're in the 3rd of Sonic's 4 playstyles, because they were like, yeah, let's just make you play these things that you don't want to play as. Right now we're playing as a
Play
as a
Project
heavily-
06, everyone. It's really good.
We're playing as a heavily neutered version of Sonic. We literally only have access to the homing attack, the slide, and the shield that allows us to run on quicksand and water, for some reason. So the
mad.
optimal movement while we're carrying Elise is literally just light dash into anti-grav slide, and that's it. Thankfully, the levels here are... We can make use of our limited moveset really well in the 2 levels that we play as this.
Do they
pair.
kiss in this game?
No,
No.
unfortunately.
What? What?
I wouldn't go that far. Hold on.
Hold on.
Get him out.
Back it up, mods.
Crush his skull, thank you.
Entering
And-
White Acropolis, I recommend getting your cat gems and cat jams and cat jams out for this one, because the soundtrack here is great. We've heard it 2 times before, but the meme happens in Sonic stories, so...
Right at the jump ramp.
Yeah,
We're
true.
seeing Snowboard. It's the 4th of his gameplay styles. Works very similar to Sonic Adventure 1.
I started spamming cat jam and I got auto-modded.
GDQ
Good
couldn't
job.
handle the party.
You've been found. Crush his skull bugs now.
The mods, they did it. Yeah, this is the 4th of his gameplay styles, and for whatever reason, the last 2 that we saw, this one and the Princess, are only used twice, both of them.
Thankfully, I would say.
I wouldn't
They're
say
not-
Snowboard's that bad.
Yeah, it's just not very
It's all right.
engaging. The only really thing you can do to speed yourself up is just mash the X button, which is a kick that puts you at top speed. And in this section specifically, you can sometimes bunny hop to get extra speed from whatever it is. Like the terrain is extremely bumpy. That outsourced collision that we were talking about earlier allows you to get some extra speed sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was the saddest yeah. Holy.
Yeah.
So what you're seeing here is our main method of movement, blue gem spin kicking. So the gems use up the action gauge, and the blue gem gives us that burst of speed, and the spin kick maintains that speed, like we talked about way back with Blaze, where she had a move called the Crow Attack that could maintain her speed from speed sources. And the nice thing is 2 spin kicks is enough time for the meter to refill past the point that you use the blue gem, so you can essentially just blue gem infinitely, which is really nice.
Very, very useful. We do
Faster
that
than the spin dash,
constantly.
because while the spin dash immediately decays its speed once you release the button, the blue gem has a timer that just sets you at a higher max speed, which that timer lengthens as you increase its level. Because how the maturity meter works for Sonic is that every 3 energy cores we receive, our currently equipped gem will level up, and we can level it up to level 3, just increases the potency of its attacks. Or potency of its skill, I should say. They're not all attacks.
And also, you actually can't reach the spin dash speed cap if you're spin dashing on flat ground. You can only reach it if you're spin dashing down a slope.
That's true, too.
Yeah.
At least I assume. I just learned that right now.
Shadow?
Shadow!
Oh
You
my
can,
god,
like,
look at Shadow!
Oh, it's
Good
good.
enough with good enough spam dashing, you can like barely reach the cap, but you only stay there for like a fraction of a second, and then you immediately dip back.
Is
dip
the
back
spin
down
dash
again.
cap? I don't think the spin dash cap is the same. I think it's 5
No, it's
meters.
it's
Watch out!
yeah,
What?
it's 50 meters per second for spin dash, and then 55 for blue gem.
That's fair.
45 for spin dash.
That's Shadow. Shadow is 46.
I thought it was 2.
There's at least 2.
Maybe in the
Yeah,
original.
I know it's like 3 or 4 at least.
All right, it's meme
It's
time
true.
again. So coming up here, I do a special little trick, which is totally not voluntary time loss. Let's get the 360. Ooh. Nice.
Good job.
Hell
Ran out
yeah.
of breath
Do you
there.
like a
3
kickflip,
seconds.
or
Unfortunately not.
no kickflips in this game? Oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
Well, he's not on a
you-
skateboard, to be fair. He's just on a piece of metal
That is true.
with no wheels.
I've seen someone do a kickflip off of a YouTube play button, so I don't know.
That's pretty cool. Need to figure out how the maturity meter works.
My apologies.
I got a comment. I need to figure out how the maturity meter works. Well, thankfully, if you're talking about Project 06, you got 4 people who knows how it works.
Yeah.
So for Sonic, I explained earlier that when you collect energy cores, it's going to fill up a third of the way. When you collect 3, it's going to level up our gem a level, which you can see visually in the bottom right. The maturity meter is below the action gauge, which is the big glowy bar up top. And then the little tick marks below the gem icon are the levels of the gem. For Shadow, the maturity meter serves as when it's filled, you can go to the next level of Chaos Boost. And for Silver, it governs the amount of time you can use ESP mode for. The more you fill up the meter, the longer you can use ESP mode. Fill it depletes.
Right here, we're going to be seeing the first cameo of any gem other than blue gem.
Oh, we have Rainbow Gem.
Oh, true, rainbow gem. And, all of the important gems. So, purple gem gives us an additional jump for every level. So, at level 1, it's 1 extra jump, 2 extra jumps, etc. And a level 3 lets you go invisible, which is not useful, but cool.
Yeah.
Hardest section in Sonic's story right there.
Oh yeah.
It's a
This
clincher
one
for
is
sure.
yeah, it's on a cycle and it's really difficult.
Yeah, and we jump on a lot of terrain that you're not supposed to jump on, so the collision's not as smooth.
That, and also you have a one-time chance to have like above 50 rings with a good time. Because the moment you die, you just lose all those rings and you can't turn super for this one Mach speed section.
Yeah.
True.
And I believe this is the section where Supersonic saves the most time.
Yeah, 'cause
it's
this is just a
literally
straight line.
a straight line.
Plus you
Yeah,
have
I
all
also
this
believe it's-
junk, which regular Mach speed Sonic, when you use a light dash, he actually gains an additional Mach state. We call it Mach 3. And he can blast through most objects, like wooden boxes and such. But the tornado throws stuff at you, and it can snipe you with like a truck or something. Thankfully, Supersonic mitigates that
Yeah.
by being invincible, of course.
I also believe this section is based on the mobile game Sonic Dash, where you run in a straight line.
It is true.
Somehow went back in time.
Yeah.
Rip Sonic Dash.
Is it dead?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I
don't
think it's
so.
all about
They're-
Sonic Force's speed battle.
Yeah, they just.
Actually, it's called Sonic Forces Mobile now.
I think they put
Really?
Meth Phyllis in that game or something like that.
Mephilis the Dark.
Here's a trick called Blue Waffle. That's pretty cool. What? I stole your thunder? My bad.
No, you can't call it. Never mind.
What?
Use the boost of a blue gem against the wall in order to...
Oh.
in order to gain a bunch of height. Because like how I said, the blue gem gives it speed instantly. Being able to use it right against that wall there allows us to get a huge amount of vertical height. Because the blue gem actually retains some of its speed, whereas the spin dash doesn't, because when Sonic goes off a ledge with the spin dash, it breaks him out of spin. The blue gem actually continues, like, giving you that additional speed even when you're in the air, even though you can only activate it on the ground. So... Seeing the purple gem once more. We have it at level 3. When you increase the level of the purple gem, you get an additional jump. At level 3, you get 3 extra jumps. Hey, got a slope jump there. It's a very wacky slope jump. I don't know why it works, but it works.
There's a lot of slope jumps that we don't know why
the
work.
slightest curve will just send you way up for no reason.
The speed shoes that we got there, they, instead of, like, I guess sort of just increasing the ground speed cap, like it does in other Sonic games, it also increases our airspeed cap, and we can use 3 extra jumps, so it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, here's the combat-focused character of the game, Knuckles. He can glide. That is the only thing you'll do with him.
No, he has the
I love Sonic story.
Yeah, he has the ground pound as well.
Back to Sonic.
Let's go back to Gem.
Sonic and Shadow's Flame Core are the two, like, closest stages in the game in terms of level design. There's very few differences between them. Shadow just has more enemies, and they're generally more difficult. But yeah, finish that up. And now we're headed on to Radical Train. Radical Train is probably the strongest stage between all 3 characters. It's pretty fun to run through regardless who you're playing as. And we get another Mach Speed section.
I zoned out after you said Shadow.
All the fixes there are in PO6, there's still a bunch of jank. I wouldn't really call it jank. It's more just kind of exploiting the physics system. And you can only do so with an extreme circumstance, like the blue gem. Like, all of these gems that Sonic has, they're scattered throughout his stages, so you don't even have them at the very beginning of the game. So you just have to rely on spin dashing and stuff. But Project 06 is overall an extrringly solid game.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of the gems...
you did not saw the sky gem.
That was swaggy. But speaking of the gems being scattered around, this is actually in the 100% category. This is the first stage you do, because it has the purple gem. And the combination with the speed shoes allows you to, like, fly through the level, as you'll see right here. And even without wings, I can still fly.
Thanks for clarifying and explaining. Yeah, no problem. That's what I'm here for. I do play this game for a living, so I would hope I know something, a thing or two about it.
Of course, we also had to showcase the yellow gem for a second there, just extra shield.
Yeah, totally not a misinput. The yellow gem is extremely useful for newcomers when trying to get S ranks, because instead of taking rings while you have the shield active, it absorbs the damage and also attracts in nearby rings. Unfortunately, you can't use it in Mach Speed sections, so it's a little bit tough there, and since you have to get the S ranks in order to get the rainbow gem for Supersonic, you don't have Supersonic while you're trying to get the S ranks, of course, so
At
it can be a little bit tricky.
At least normal shields actually do carry on from normal stage 2 Mach Speed, so you can at least have an extra hit whenever you come in there.
True.
Jungle, the second stage for the Sonic and Elise combo.
Oh boy.
Yay! The worst part about it, too, is that these stages are honestly really cool level design-wise. Section 1 here of Tropical Jungle, or Section A, I should say, has a lot of automation, but Section 2 is really open, and Dusty Desert is extremely open. So, kind of a shame that we play as a butchered Sonic moveset, but the slide kick gets use. Yay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Slide kick is really good.
Sonic does have it in his base moveset, but there's basically no reason to use it, as Blue Gem spin kicking is really good.
Yeah.
It also just doesn't preserve speed as well as normal as like the Princess anti-grav for some reason. Like the slide when you're using the princess is just buffed. It's just straight better.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Along with being tied to a better input, because as normal Sonic you have to hold B, whereas with this you just press it.
I did not know that either.
And even to
Probably
go
don't
off
know
of
that.
it's like you try to compare, and when you do Sonic just spin dashing or even blue gemming, and then trying to do anti-grab, immediately your speed is halted.
Yeah, it has a super low speed
I guess
cap
the
with
old
normal
person
Sonic.
Oh, yeah.
here maybe knows a thing or two.
I remember
Respect
doing
your
science on
elders,
it
chat.
a while ago.
Yeah.
Rep is the youngest one here.
Yeah.
Oh man. But here in section 2, we are navigating between multiple pathways. I went from the bottom route to the middle route, back to the bottom, and now I'm on the top route, headed to the goal ring. Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool routing for the final section here.
Since Sonic is carrying a human, does that mean he has human teeth?
What?
What? Where did that come from?
Chad said that, not me.
Okay.
You could have started off with that. Someone
Chat.
No,
Chat GPT, write something that would get streamers' attention.
I'm
Wait,
not even
no, I
sure
have
that
to do
would
the
work.
cool thing. Hold on.
Oh my god.
What is this guy doing?
There we go. So before this cutscene, you can mash the right D-pad and activate blue gem before the cutscene starts.
Oh, but it doesn't fill up the meter. That's sad. I thought it would actually fill up the meter.
If it did,
I'd
that'd be
like,
sick. But the
that would be so cool.
action gauge is
Yeah.
interesting in how it's programmed, in that it only fills up naturally when the HUD is active. But
Makes
it will
sense.
fill up from energy cores. So, like, when we played as Amy, way back in Silver's story, Amy doesn't have an action gauge. Well, okay, so technically she does, but she doesn't use it, and therefore it's not on the HUD. However, all the energy cores we got from the enemies filled it up, so that when we switched back to Silver, he had a full meter. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of Silver, here he is again.
over my
Silver.
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 Silver the hedgehog.
We get to see ESP mode yet again.
4 a.m. commentary.
Yeah.
Yep.
5:30 at this point.
Yep.
Now the question
you
is,
going to
do you
bed
go
after
back
this,
to
or are you
sleep or
just-
do you stay up? Yeah, that's exactly what I was
Yeah,
gonna
just
ask.
thugging it out after this.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
He does a shadow 100% after.
It's true.
Shadow
You get a tablet on
100%.
this.
Yeah, does Philip go to sleep after this run?
Yeah, can we get a poll in chat?
Bug it out. Or Tonk Shoe.
Oh, not again.
Bug it out or honk shoe. I like those two
I
options.
was made aware as to what that donation was asking after the run because I had no idea.
You don't know what Honkshu is?
No?
I didn't know at the time of the run. No.
What's Honkshu?
It's like this meme where
It's like cartoonish sleeping noises, like yawning.
yeah.
Great news. The poll's up.
Oh, let's go. Let's.
Philip is sleeping or Philip is awake.
Alright, we got Castle Sip going on. We're gonna use level 3 Rainbow Gem, which level 2 allows you to have a little bit more speed and jump higher. And level 3 does the Arrow of Light, where you actually get to boost and also cool Stelvo Pog. Let's go, Castle Sip.
Castle skip. Between
That's included in the Supersonic package.
even though Silver Sonic section in Kingdom Valley and Silver Story and this one, the castle skip portion is identical. We do it in 2 different ways. One, because we can get the Rainbow Gem to level 3 for that Arrow of Light. We also need it at level 2 for the additional jump height to get up to the platform. You can't do that in Silver Story because Sonic just doesn't deal with enough enemies to where it would save time. Because the interesting thing about Supersonic and why we pretty much only use them for Mach speed sections is that we have to figure out that do we save more time than it takes to transform into him? So,
Yeah,
thankfully the answer is yes
transformation-
for Mach speed, at least we think.
The transformation
We-
takes 3.5 seconds, so.
I don't know, with how close Gemless Wave Ocean is getting to any percent Wave Ocean, I don't know. Might not
I
be
can
faster.
definitely get a 207. I don't know about any lower, though.
Poor Philip. You're forced to stay up, man.
Six votes.
The
Yeah,
chat
last
is
time I
really...
saw it, it was not close.
Yeah, it's 26-6 right now. They hate you, bro.
All right, sounds
All
like
right,
we're going
I'm never
live
sleeping
after
again.
this.
I'm never sleeping again in my life.
Rare midnight stream, let's go.
Yo, I just got my newsletter
Yes, dude.
for
Let's go.
for the next game, Sonic X Shadow Generations,
Wishlist now on Steam.
or the Epic Games Store.
Once again, the Sega narc strikes again.
Oh gosh.
I wasn't used to hearing that because I totally thought you were gonna say something along the lines of like going to a certain YouTube channel to find something. About
Go on to Chaos X's YouTube channel
and wishlist PO6 on Steam. So Aquatic Base is the final level, final main level of Sonic's story. We got one more after this, but it has been pushed down significantly. So before I went to SGDQ and did this run there, the IL time, which stands for individual level, it's when you just run one of the levels in the game. It was a 251 or 252, and it's been pushed down to a 237, which doesn't sound like too crazy if you're not familiar with the game. But the craziest part is that Aquatic Base is a linear stage. So it's not just about, hey, can you do the skips? It's can you do literally every piece of the movement well? Because anytime you mess up, you are losing time.
Not even well,
and you
but
can't really make it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect, yeah, essentially.
What's also more insane about the movement is that you'll find during runs of either Sonic, Shadow, or Blaze, you're trying to lock onto something, and then you would lock onto something else. That, or you're trying to do a certain movement, and you can't even do that certain movement because since the homing attack was already locked onto something else, it will go that direction instead. So there will be times when an enemy is right in front of you, but you have to be high enough right above the door, that way you can get that, like, homing attack, and then get the momentum from there, and just pass by. It's insane.
Yeah, it's a very common problem in Aquatic Base to accidentally lock onto things.
Especially because these corridors are so narrow.
And enemies everywhere.
Yeah, it definitely gets final level status.
Despite
Even
not
though
being
Kingdom
final
Valley
level.
was maybe better thematically.
Anyway, we're gonna have another look at the combat-focused character of the game, Knuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are a
Only
lot of
combat
enemies in this
focused
section, and
Beat him up, Knuckles.
dude, you have to kill the enemies. Where are you going? Dude.
Bro.
Dude, what do
Dude,
you
you
mean?
have to kill the enemies.
What do you
Well,
mean?
we
The
got
switch is,
combat,
the switch is right here,
Dude, the
guys.
switch doesn't spawn
Guys,
until you.
guys, it's right. We already did that joke in GDQ.
Yeah, okay, my bad.
It's okay.
My fault.
They can't hurt you anymore.
Ooh, I hate that.
Ooh, smooth movement.
Yeah, I played this game once or twice.
Couple
Have you now?
times.
Not
my
that
second
any of my
playthrough.
runs would reflect that, though. Seeing the green gem here, haven't seen that yet. Green gem initiates a whirlwind kick, which is kind of like Sonic's tornado kick, but it's not nearly as good. He stays still while using it, and you have to level it up to do insane damage. We can see
Well,
our
if it
two
looks like
other
you're staying
gems, though,
awake.
that we didn't see throughout the run. One of them is the red gem. Red gem slows down time, everything including Sonic, so it's not terribly useful. And then the yellow gem that got a little bit of show time is that Thunder Guard that I mentioned. Oh yeah, we have the white gem too. White gem changes Sonic's homing attack into the homing smash, which is kind of neat. It has a little bit of use speedrunning wise, but it's very technical and saves a marginal amount of time. So it's only at like the highest of high level of play that you have to use white gem over purple gem to get some aerial distance. Looks cool
Yeah.
on Sonic's feet though.
My gem is so rarely used. The fact that it ever gets used at one moment in time is just shocking all the time. You'll never.
Oh my
expect it.
goodness, our
Grace.
prayers were answered. If you liked Wave Ocean and Tails, well, do I have the
We got a
final
treat
stage
for
of the
you.
run for you?
Let's go! I like both
I just
of
want to
those
cut in real quick.
things.
The poll's done, and oh, it was not close.
Yeah, you're staying awake, buddy.
Philip is awake.
Go. Alright,
Philip is awake, yeah.
this is my fate now.
Well, we can make things a little bit easier if you want. There are some more Easter eggs we can show off.
Show off anything you want. I was literally gonna ask you to add any Easter eggs you wanted to show
Oh,
off after you.
sure. Okay.
Awesome.
Well, that was easier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, do what you want.
I mean, if
Didn't
you
even need
insist.
It's your run, it's my show. I like this game, and you're running this game. So I mean, it's
Yo,
up to
hype.
you.
Yo,
I'm
hi,
running this
let's go,
game?
more content.
Are you? That's me.
Oh my god!
That's me. He made it. He did it. Where did he?
Sorry, I didn't know
Wait,
I was
where
on
did you go?
GDQ. My bad. My bad. My bad.
Yo, P.
He went into like a coma halfway through the run, and he's just autopiloting the whole time.
And that's what happens when you're severely underestimated, Kat.
It's true. I like how there's just literally nothing to talk about in this stage, so we have to make
Yeah.
something.
I literally had to
Like, the
leave.
stage- It's
To
just
leave
so
for it to be interesting.
It's just so dumb, man.
No, there's something called feathering. Feathering is very, very important. You see, you want to make sure that gauge is all the way up at all times, and as long as you feather, the gauge won't run out any faster, so that way we can make it across anywhere. Let's
Dude, a
go.
140? You suck at this. Oh, never mind.
You know, isn't there something up here? Hey, look at that. Secret.
Cool Easter egg.
That means it's a good Sonic game.
Where's the one up?
And that's time.
GG.
Woohoo!
I can't
What
believe
a
this,
run.
this GDQ Hotfix run had manufactured commentary. No way.
No way.
I can't believe it.
Easter egg time.
Yeah, I was literally about to say yeah. You can draw off whatever you want for a few minutes. Yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
all right, sure. So, with the Easter eggs in the extras menu, ooh, there's one thing I want to do first before we get started with the Easter eggs. I want to give a thank you to all the people who have worked on this game over the last 7 years and have made it what it is. So, here's the credits. Cool thing about the credits, too, is that this is an original composition by Chaos X called New Future. How appropriate. Yeah, really neat. Has some samples of Dreams of an Absolution in there as well, but we can't get to that part because that's copyrighted, so...
It is a good song.
Wait, I thought Dreams of Absolution wasn't copyright because this is Sonic.
Actually, no. Dreams of an Absolution isn't copyrighted. It's Sweet Dreams that's copyrighted.
No,
Yeah,
Dreams of
that's what I
Absolution is also copyrighted. Trust me.
What?
I've tried. Even the instrumental is copyrighted.
That.
I
Unfortunately.
can't say I've ever had a video flagged for that because I run Silver Story in the original game, and I don't think it is.
Are you monetized?
Well, no, but it's still.
Then
counts.
that's why.
Yeah.
Whenever I post a Sonic PB, it's like copyrighted music. That's what YouTube does, bro. Like,
So, anywho, oh, I forgot something. So, in the test stage, there's actually multiple sections of it. This is essentially just a playground where you can run around and do stuff. This first section of the test stage here is actually based off of the very, very old Blitz Sonic engine, which was like what the very first Sonic fan games were made in the early 2000s, which is pretty crazy. So I would hedge to guess that even this test stage here predates the original Sonic 06. Pretty wild.
You would hedge to guess.
Yeah, see what I did there? Hey, look, it's Knuckles!
Oh!
the
so,
combat-focused character.
In this part of the stage, of the test stage, just a little key hunt with Knuckles. All 3 keys are randomized, like Kingdom Valley. And I don't know where they are. So we're gonna look for them together.
I know where this one is.
Blind playthrough.
Yeah, my blind playthrough. I think it's under here. Yeah. We can just run down here.
that's
This is the
correct.
Adventure
This is-
2 test stage, or a modification
I was
of it.
literally about to say that, bro.
Oh, my bad. Here, everyone, here, where's the neuralizer, the Men in Black? Everyone
You
forget
didn't see
that
that.
for a moment. Okay, Rev, go ahead.
No, the joke's over.
Oh. Well, that's a shame. I think this might be the really high one.
Possibly.
I didn't
Oh,
get
there's a
any
rail.
blips
I
anywhere
forgot
else.
There's a rail that leads up there.
There's the railgun animation.
It would
from
actually
Knuckles.
suck if this section was in the game because there are certain keys that are just so bad. They're just like atrocious.
Yeah, this one's really bad if we get it.
Test
It is,
stage sentient.
it is that one. I don't know why it pinged so far away. Or so close to it. Gonna see some jump climbing right here.
Look at him go.
Wow, so fast. Now that we got that, we can fall down to this portal. Which has invisible walls, by the way. Even though the lasers, like, there's clearly an opening. But, yeah, you can't go through it.
No way. Is this like a test stage or something?
Yes. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Dude, where are the textures?
That was a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, where are the textures?
Where are-
Is this Green Hill? So,
Green Hill's looking a lot
In
more
the
like
final
test stage
section-
right around now.
Well, this actually isn't the final section of the test stage, but in the final, like, section with stuff in it, this is, a mirror here. This mirror transports us to a menu that was in the Tokyo Game Show 2006 demo, for Project 06. And just
Project
to save on
06?
time here. For the original Sonic 06. Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, so
this
it's
game's
been
been developed
re-implemented
for a
here,
while.
and I'll go ahead and let chat choose. Just shout it out which character you want to see, because I don't think we have time to do all three.
I'm not chat, but I think Shadows is the coolest.
Shadow.
Is this End of the World? No, End of the World will not be featured today.
If only.
Yeah, I'm seeing this chat question. It's
Yo, Philip
it's
with
asking if
Shadow.
This is
Oh,
the end of the
great.
world.
So we'll do Shadow section of Kingdom Valley. So Shadow normally in section B here of Kingdom Valley. Oh, chat was way delayed. In section B here of Kingdom Valley, normally Shadow goes through it backwards, that we did in his story. But in the TGS layout, he goes through it the same way as Sonic. So we are going to attempt a castle skip, though I can really only attempt it one time.
What? There's a spring there? What?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Dude, you don't know about the TGS 2006 layout for Shadow?
Can't say I do.
Oh, okay.
Wow, rookie mistake, honestly.
Yeah, that's
Let this
true.
referee guy on comms. Even I knew about that one.
Yeah, come on now.
Yikes.
Don't text me.
Okay, so we got one shot at this.
You gotta get a slope jump here.
Oh, so close.
Okay.
That's unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
Well, looks like we're
That
just
hurt me in
taking
my
it.
soul.
Yeah. If you
I
were
mean,
good at
could
the
we
game, you would probably
maybe-
make that, but
I
yeah.
don't think we can do it. No, the eagle is there.
Oh, wait.
Oh yeah,
that
you
does
could do
look
the
good.
gemless version. That's awesome.
Yeah, I could do the gemless version.
Oh.
In theory,
If he was good-
that is,
If he was good at the game, he could do the
if
gemless.
he was good at the
Y'all just don't see the vision yet.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
true. We
It's
don't.
true. Get to see the automation though, that's cool.
Now, it's kind of weird that the Duke knows so much about these characters that he's never met.
What are you talking
He's
about?
all knowing.
SevenChaos met the Duke.
That's fair. Right before he died. Hey, look, the goal ring. But did you know that if you go over here, there are just 3 rings. There's nothing beyond this. There are 3 rings there.
Can you light dash on them?
The more you know.
Is there? If there's a light dash flying for it.
That's immediately what I thought of. Can
Oh
you
my
light
god,
dash?
there is.
Yep, there is.
That's ridiculous. So the
Awesome.
reason that's
This is
crazy
the best
is
Sonic game, I
that
think.
in Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2, it was, I'm gonna really butcher this, I'm sure BeatZ will make fun of me, but essentially Sonic teleported to each ring, so they didn't have to code it specifically for every single ring trail for Sonic to be light dashable, but in the original Sonic 06 and Project 06 uses the same system, there has to be a spline coded on that path of rings in order to be light dashable. So interesting.
Yeah,
that,
so you have to manually add it in. I
Yeah.
guarantee you it was a leftover from Sonic Kingdom Valley.
yeah, so we do have another stage to show off here.
What?
If we go back to section 2 of the test stage, unfortunately it boots you completely out of the menu. We can complete one of these extra stages, so you got to run all the way back. And if we go this way this time,
Oh, I thought you were gonna show the
Yo, Shadow's
other
following
hidden
us.
one.
I love that guy.
there's another hidden
Ooh.
stage.
I love that Shadow guy.
The one that was
Yeah.
next to Knuckles.
That's so cool.
Connected to Knuckles, there's another portal?
One that involves a car.
Oh, I mean, I guess that's a stage, yeah. See, got up there. We got another
Huge
mirror.
leap.
This mirror takes us to the E3 2006 version of Crisis City, and all of its English as well. I think we will see it when we get up to the bridge portion of this. Hopefully it does. I don't have hit rings on, so it might not work. That road may be able to destroy. Wow.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it's almost like this is unfinished.
It's almost like this was a demo made 17 years ago. But we can just finish it right there. And then we got one more thing to show off.
Yeah, this is never ending.
Yeah,
We're here forever now.
We're actually
Project 06
gonna
never
take
ends.
over the show permanently.
It's the showcase that
Yeah.
never ends. It goes on and on, my friends.
That's what the last release is going to be like. I'm sure we'll be able to sneak an all stories 100% run of that one. All 4 hours of it, probably.
Oh, let's go.
It's the friends we
I
made
wouldn't even be mad.
away.
Yeah, it's a good game.
More PO6 content is never a bad thing.
True. Especially when I'm on comms. I mean, because it's
All
a
right,
well-known
bro.
game.
Right, bro.
All I'm saying is I trust Delma with my life. I don't trust Reverie with my life.
Yo!
I agree.
That's a terrible burden to bear. I went to the wrong place. This is incorrect.
You
Awesome.
definitely did.
Muscle
I-
memory is a problem.
I don't trust Delma with my life anymore.
Yeah, went
Well,
to
it
the
was
wrong
short-lived, thank goodness.
Thank God Rev won't hedgehop you around anywhere else.
Yeah, Rev would fly like 30 meters past where he needed to be. Too much head chopping. So if we activate all 4 of these switches, there's another portal. And this portal brings us to the Sonic and the Secret Rings test stage, or one of them anyway. With Lethal Highway playing in the background, we can do laps around this stage with Shadow's motorbike. Kinda explains a lot how Secret Rings panned out, considering that these are literally roads. So,
Yep.
and
This
yeah,
is the
that's
best
it.
song in the game, by the way.
It's not even from this game.
Yeah.
That was Project 06. I don't know if my commentators have anything else to say. There are a few more Easter eggs that I didn't show, but I just wanted to show a couple of them.
Subscribe. Play this game.
I haven't seen the light of day in like 4 weeks, bro. Subscribe to so he can let me free.
Now play PO6.
It's a really
That is all.
I mean, that's pretty much it. It's a goated game.
Isn't the
Goated
soundtrack?
speedrun.
Isn't some
Okay, community.
soundtrack
I mean,
from
it's, like,
the stage
alright.
being like Dragon
I
Ball?
mean, it's alright.
Well,
If you
where
like
can
Dragon
everyone
Ball,
find
you'll like
y'all?
PO6.
You can find me literally on Twitch or on YouTube. Just for all these speedruns, I'll be real.
Where can they find you, Rep?
You can't. Good luck.
Nice try. You're not getting that info out of me.
Freaking narc.
Not bad.
What are
What
you,
about
cop?
you, Philip?
Which
Well,
lists Sonic X
personally-
Shadow Generations on Steam.
Well, personally, you can find me on Sonic X Shadow Generation Steam page under twitch.tv/FilipIsCold and YouTube and Twitter.